Hey, what's going on, y'all? Claims Coach Wright with Extension back here with a new video. Came across this article and just wanted to touch on something that's pretty interesting to me. People are really invested in robo-taxis and self-driving cars, and I think the robo-taxi is the next evolution of um, the autonomous driving where there's no driver in the vehicle whatsoever. This article is just showing you that in just a couple of days, Tesla's had a couple of mishaps in their rollout in Austin. And it makes me think of a claim that came in a past life. I was a supervisor for one of the big four. And a claim came in, I want to say 2017, 2018. Insured reports that their self-driving mode went rogue, causing them to crash into a bunch of cars on the Long Island Expressway. And this was one of those cases that was probably the first that the company had seen. And it became a big deal. A lot of corporate lawyers, a lot of higher ups get involved in discussing how to approach this, what algorithm or what proprietary information they can get access to verify if the insured story of the autonomous vehicle going rogue is valid, because ultimately that's going to, play out in coverage decisions and what's or who's liable, I guess is a better way to put it. And I just want to say that this is a fascinating part of like human nature right now, where we're looking to pass along any responsibility we can to machines and AI, and it just doesn't seem to be beneficial. The juice isn't worth the squeeze when you start talking about some of the things that can go wrong. Now, ultimately, in the claim that came in back in 2017, 2018, the insured was saying they were entering a Long Island Expressway in the autonomous driver mode, and as it got onto the highway, it just rapidly accelerated. And there was actually dash cam video where you can kind of see the vehicle go from doing maybe 10 miles an hour as it got on the on ramp onto the highway, and then it just accelerates. And anybody who's been in an electric car knows how fast those things can take off. Ultimately, Tesla blocked the company from getting any of the data from the black box, so they didn't have any way of verifying if there was anything that would have told them if the autonomous driving system had an error or lost control of itself. But this is the point that we're at: is these companies have so much power, and I'm speaking to companies like Tesla, where they can literally push back on multi-billion-dollar companies like a State Farm, or Progressive, or Geico, and say you can't get access to the algorithm, even though you're probably going to wind up being responsible for something that you may not be responsible for. And I mean that as the insurance carrier and as the person who's operating the vehicle or in the vehicle. So just a really fascinating thing to consider. I personally don't want to get into a car that doesn't have a driver in it. I personally don't want to have a car that drives me around, but to each their own. Curious to hear y'all thoughts. How do you feel about autonomous driving? Are you comfortable getting in a car that doesn't have a driver or having a vehicle that drives you around? Just interested to hear everybody's thoughts. Look forward to hearing your feedback.